Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. A special good morning and happy 5th birthday to Jace, watching with his mom in Frankfort.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. Every 4 years something peculiar, not peculiar, but special happens. It's called the Olympics, and because of that we're going to be off the air for 3 weeks. So we tried to put together today a very special show dealing with the gardens of this area. We're going to visit some public gardens and some private gardens, so come along.
Today we're spotlighting local gardens. Be sure to have a pen and paper ready because many of the gardens featured this morning will be open to Mohawk Valley Living viewers today. They will also be listed on our website, mohawkvalleyliving.com. It's time for the Skinner and Demoulas road trip. We stop in to see the guys in Richfield Springs, who are eager to show off the exciting new 2013 Dodge Dart. Come in and test drive this groundbreaking new compact. This week, we stopped to smell the roses and the other flowers we often take for granted along area roadsides and parks. A drive through Rome, New York is colorful thanks to the city and volunteers. The gardens at the Veterans Park and Gansevoort Park on North James Street are in bloom with some help from the volunteers from the Delta Lake Kiwanis Club.
Rome has a multitude of parks where you can come and sit and enjoy the shade and to think about the history of Rome, of which there's an awful lot. And then you can also enjoy the gardens, but don't take them for granted because they are maintained faithfully by volunteers.
Come to the promised land. I'm gonna lay my bones down.
We travel along Lake Delta to Westernville to the home of Bernie and Irene Penzek. Bernie grew up working his family's farm and had a career as a trained machinist. Those skills come together in detail and precision in his vegetable and flower gardens. His garden won Victory Garden's Best Garden in the Country in 1988. The trains that circle in and around the garden are also built with meticulous detail. He amends his soil every year with rotted manure, peat moss, sand, and compost. And his wife Irene has a hard time keeping up with preserving and sharing the bounty.
Well, I'm coming on to my high city in the sky, coming to the promised land. Yes, I'm going where the sun shines, coming to the promised land. It's been a long, long ride, but it's all right. Oh man, I'm sore and tired. Yes, I rode through the valley in the shadow of the night, coming to the promised land. All right.
If you are interested in Bernard's train system for your garden, call 827-4411. Stay tuned for more gardens after the break. Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 11:35 p.m. on WKTV. And check out what's new on MohawkValleyLiving.com.
Mountain, come to the promised land. I'm gonna lay my bones down by my side. Oh man, I'm sore and tired.
Here's what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas. Come in and check out the exciting new 2013 Dodge Dart. Test drive this groundbreaking compact sedan with Dodge performance and style. See what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs. You go the extra mile for your small business and should expect the same from your insurance company. For over 140 years, Turnbull Insurance Service has been committed to local small business. For your commercial coverage, turn to the company ready to go that extra mile. Turn to Turnbull. Visit the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown for Step Back in Time weekends. August 4th and 5th, it's hops and beer. Learn the history of New York State hops growing, and on Sunday, adults can enjoy beer tastings from several local breweries at the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown. The blues are in at North Star Orchards, and it's a banner blueberry year. U-Pick is now open, so come enjoy harvesting your own. Or pick up fresh-picked blueberries and North Star's famous frosted blueberry cookies at North Star Orchards, Route 233, Westmoreland. Tom's Natural Foods is your connection to local farms for natural and organic fruits and vegetables, meats, eggs, cheeses, and other milk products at Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally. Why do contractors and do-it-yourselfers shop Lincoln Davies? It's the superior grade lumber, the value for the money, the 140 years and 6 generations of customer service. Since 1872, Lincoln Davies has delivered superior lumber, value, and service, and they're not about to change things now. Celebrating 140 years at the same location, just 10 minutes south of New Hartford on Summit Road between routes 12 and 8. Lincoln Davies, building them like they used to. Be part of an 18-year tradition at the Windfall Dutch Barn. You're invited to the annual Beauregard Gerard reunion Saturday, July 28th at 8 p.m. Dance the night away to Spike and the Boys at the Windfall Dutch Barn in Salt Springville. Have a tropical adventure and walk among hundreds of free-flying butterflies, tropical birds, plants, lizards, and frogs at the Pop Butterfly Conservatory. It's an unforgettable experience for all ages. Open 7 days a week on Route 7 in Oneonta.
Please forgive me. He held her close and kissed her.
Special thanks to Turnbull Insurance Service and Mark and Jim Turnbull. Their continued support makes the show possible.
For the last time.
Proctor Park has been around for more than 100 years, and in 1923 the Proctor family donated it to the city. There are actually 2 Proctor Parks. This one, the Frederick T. Proctor Park, was designed by the same man who designed Central Park in New York City, Frederick Law Olmsted. Back when I was growing up in the 1940s, you didn't leave the city, you found parks inside the city where you could picnic.
Sad days in the swimming pool, take me for a ride. You were like a giant then, it's been a long, long time. There was big wheels and training wheels and go-karts.
We head from Proctor Park along the Memorial Parkway to the Utica Zoo, where we find water lilies in bloom in the garden pond beneath the world's largest watering can. Visit the gardens and the animals at the Utica Zoo this summer, open daily at 10 a.m.
Twice as long for you.
Other gardens we often take for granted are the gardens along the historic Utica Memorial Parkway. The parkway connects the 2 Proctor Parks and Roscoe Conkling Park and reflects the landscape design of the early 1900s. The many historic statues are surrounded by beautiful landscaping that is maintained with help from the Central New York Conservancy. We meet the president of this nonprofit organization at the Baron von Steuben Monument that overlooks busy Genesee Street.
Well, this strip is right now it's a National Historic Landmark, and it is owned by the city of Utica, and it was originally developed by the Proctor family from the Munson Williams Proctor Institute. The Proctors bought this land, hired a firm called Frederick Law Olmsted to do the design, the original design and the original layout and all of the original plantings. What's so significant about that is that he also designed Central Park in New York. He also designed the park in Boston. There's a park in Buffalo. It's very, very special that a city the size of Utica, New York has a Frederick Law Olmsted designed garden, and we have the Proctor family to thank for it. The maintenance of the park is really a cooperative arrangement between the city of Utica that owns the park system and the Central New York Conservancy. The Central New York Conservancy I'm the president of. It was formed in 2002 really to partner with the city to preserve these kind of green spaces. The mission really is about preservation of green spaces throughout the county, but obviously because of the importance of this park system, we've dedicated so much of our resources so far to this park system.
We visit Mr. Locke's private gardens at his home in Utica. He grew up in a family that appreciated gardens, and when he built his own home, he couldn't imagine it without gardens. If you would like to tour Mr. Locke's private garden, you are welcome this afternoon from 1 to 3 at 1709 Sherman Drive in Utica. For lunch, we head back near Proctor Park to Culver Ave and the Secret Garden. We walk through the pretty patio garden, where you can enjoy outdoor dining on a warm day. Or if it's too warm, head inside to the air-conditioned dining room.
Today for lunch I had Wiener Schnitzel, unbelievable. They also serve up chicken riggies. They won the award for the best chicken riggies in Utica a few years ago. And how does it happen that a Bosnian family here in East Utica has such talent? During the Bosnian War, they were forced to leave Bosnia, and they traveled all over Europe where they picked up these incredible recipes and brought them right here to East Utica.
I can't stand it when you're not around. I don't know quite what to do with myself. So if you have to leave me tonight now, baby, just don't come at all.
Stay tuned for more gardens after the break.
I'll cry the whole night through 'cause I'm missing you and all of your kisses now, baby.
In 1866, James B. Turnbull walked to farms and villages to visit his customers, earning their trust. Today, the fourth generation of Turnbulls continue that dedication, tailoring a life insurance plan to suit your unique needs and priorities. Turn to the company that is out there to earn your trust. Turn to Turnbull. It's the 7th annual Clinton Art and Music Festival, Saturday, August 25th, featuring all forms of art and all genres of music. There are also children's activities, food, and more at the 7th annual Clinton Art and Music Festival, Saturday, August 25th. Be sure to attend the 38th annual Old Forge Antique Show and Sale, July 28th and 29th. Over 60 dealers of fine antiques with early admission on Saturday to the Antique Show and Sale, July 28th and 29th on North Street in Old Forge. Dream big at the Women's Leadership Conference at Minnowbrook. Life coach Teresa Huggins hosts a weekend of discovery and personal growth at the lavish Grand Lodge at Blue Mountain Lake. Visit teresadhuggins.com to register for the Leadership Conference.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospitals on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment, and you're only available on the weekend. Sure, I have an appointment Sunday with Dr. Karen. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
Taste the homemade difference at Maria's Pasta Shop. Homemade lasagna, manigot, stuffed shells, ravioli, and more. Gelato is back for the season. Stop in and sample this Italian treat at Maria's Pasta Shop. Meelan's Meat Market is your meat headquarters, featuring low-salt, low-fat smoked ham and store-made kielbasa. Every hot dog, beef patty, and sausage is made by Bob Meelan himself. You'll find everything from store-made meats to fresh salads and tabbouleh at Meelan's Meat Market in Clark Mills. Savor the flavor of authentic Southeast Asian cuisine at the Lotus Garden Noodle and Sushi House. The Pooh family welcomes you to lunch or dinner at the Lotus Garden, 339 Bleecker Street in downtown Utica.
Loyalty is something you can't sell, not something that you find in a wishing well.
If you're looking for some advice, ideas, or inspiration for your garden, visit Cornell Cooperative Extension in Oriskany. There are events, classes, learning sessions, and master gardeners available to you. There are also many different types of flower and vegetable gardens you can explore and learn from.
Our gardens here is a main focus of our Master Gardener program. We have educational talks throughout the summer months and early spring. And we have one coming up in August on the 15th of incorporating wildlife into your garden. And we have plants labeled. That's if you're out shopping for plants, and these are to our area zones. And so people can get a look at ahead of time, oh, this perennial plant will really fill out in my yard. I'm not gonna put it in a very small place. And we have like herbs and vegetables, And we are featuring Cornell vegetable varieties this year. And it shows different ways to use mulches in your garden to help water less. And we're trying to help spread community revitalization and also bringing butterflies and beauty and that people can enjoy. And many people, like the older folks, they aren't able to garden much anymore. And driving around, it's good to just see some color during the different seasons.
Cornell Cooperative Extension is located at 121 2nd Street in Oriskany and is open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. The gardens and trails are open 7 days a week from dawn to dusk. You don't have to be a master gardener to create your own beautiful garden. It just takes trial and error and a little bit of work. Sometimes your neighbor can be your inspiration, like our neighbor, Deborah Beatrice in Clinton.
I had never gardened before, and it was just one garden led to another garden, led to another garden. Oh, we have a lot of deer, have a lot of rabbits, chipmunks, had a few skunks, woodchucks, so you just learn to plant what they don't like. So you start in one section at a time. And you'll get a huge sense of satisfaction when you do that, because it's like you see this one little garden that's all done and it's like, holy smokes, this is so cool. And then you just expand if you want from there. I get lots of comments from people who walk by the house and enjoy it also. They always want to look and see what's blooming and what's happening, and it's just, we sit on our porch and it's like you're far away someplace. It's just great. It's great relaxation. It's hard work. It can be very frustrating. You worry about your plants, especially the annuals, but it's great.
If you'd like to tour Deborah's garden, it is open this morning from 9 to noon at 134 College Street in Clinton.
To see what we can see, traveling round the Mohawk Valley.
A different style of garden is the private garden of Cheryl and Peter Youngman. Constructed over a 20-year period and still growing, the gardens were created for their peace, tranquility, and aesthetic appeal. Their love of creating beautiful spaces has grown into helping others do the same.
Well, this is a family home, and I've known gardening all my whole life. My grandparents did it, my father, mother. And we came home from New York. And New York is a very different environment, and we love being outside. So I introduced Peter to the idea of doing gardening. At first he was very reluctant, but then when he realized it could be like the Versailles Gardens in France, that he was hooked, and we started from there. And we started in the back and then went all around the house, and then it just took off from there. I would say that he's very European, and he has this inspiration from being in France a lot. He's French and American, and he saw things in Europe, which is much more traditional, and they love gardens. And he introduced me to ideas I never realized would work. And I let him create all the spaces, and then I put the plants in, and that's how we've done everything. So he loves rocks, and he loves, and then we have an oriental look about this, which is really calm and peaceful. All that's his influence. At first, people would come by, garden clubs, the library tour, and they would ask, would you be willing to work for us? We were very involved here, too involved to consider anything but just working on this property. But at a point in time, the property was settled, and we thought maybe that would be interesting to see other people's yards and spaces. And we like being creative, and we could create spaces for other people. And that's how it started. So I like going to somebody's home and making it beautiful.
If you would like to tour Cheryl and Peter's garden, it is open this morning from 9 to noon at 7624 Old Burstone Road in Clinton, or see their gardens at cpgardens.net. Here's what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas. Come in and check out the exciting new 2013 Dodge Dart. Test drive this groundbreaking compact sedan with Dodge performance and style. See what's hot on the lot at Skinner and Demoulas in Richfield Springs. Pool have a leak? Need a repair? Call Trenton Corporation Pool Repair for prompt professional service 7 days a week. Above ground and in ground leak locating, plumbing, and fittings testing. Call 793-7400 and they'll hop to it. Oscar's Picture Framing offers hand-finished molding and restoration of antique frames, preserving artwork, pictures, needlework, and memorabilia. Oscar's Picture Framing, Kellogg Road, New Hartford. Your home is your castle, so when you need windows, be sure to call the Window King. Call and speak directly to the owner about new vinyl replacement windows starting at just $259 each installed. Call the Window King today at 733-5500. Call Yannick Excavating for all your residential and commercial projects, from new construction and land clearing to septic systems, driveways, basements, ponds, and topsoil. Visit yannickexcavating.com. The Village Crossing is having a 30% off summer fashion clearance sale going on now to make way for transitional fashions. Hurry into the Village Crossing on West Park Row in Clinton. Shop Shelter for handmade Adirondack furniture designed by craftsman Jim Kiefer. He works with you to create custom pieces to your specifications, from dining room and coffee tables to bookcases, beds, and bunks. Call or visit Shelter on Main Street in Old Forge. The Longaretta Law Firm, protecting your rights and advising you in matters of legal importance. Call for your free consultation, 735-6162. Expecting company? Just call Deansboro Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377. It's the 7th annual Clinton Art and Music Festival, Saturday, August 25th, featuring all forms of art and all genres of music. There are also children's activities, food, and more at the 7th annual Clinton Art and Music Festival, Saturday, August 25th.
I can't stand it when you're not around. I don't know quite what to do with myself. So if you have to leave me tonight, now, baby, just don't come at all. When you're gone, you know just what
Aqua Vita Farms is located in one of the warehouses of the more than 1 million square feet of structures in the Sherrill Manufacturing Complex. This new venture utilizes a growing method which combines fish farming with hydroponic gardening.
We started May 1st. We took this old building, which is the former polishing building at what used to be the United Silver Factory, which is now Sherrill Manufacturing. We took it on May 1st. It was full of 60 years of industrial equipment. It hadn't been used for anything in 7 years, had been storage. We came in, we cleaned everything up, we built our systems, and we actually took our first harvest the very last week in August. And we've really been harvesting and shipping products steadily since September. The idea came when I read an article in the Wall Street Journal. I was working on a degree at SUNY Institute of Technology in Marcy, and as I was finishing that up in April, I read an article in the Wall Street Journal about a company in Milwaukee that was doing something similar. They'd taken an old crane factory, converted it into an indoor ecosystem like we've done here, and that's where the idea came from. I started investigating it, started researching it, learning more and more, visiting farms that were doing aquaculture, which is fish farming, visiting farms that were doing hydroponics, which is growing plants without soil, and starting to learn how to put those two together and get aquaponics, which is what we do. With aquaponics, what people always say, or the easy answer, is that we feed the fish feed the plants clean the water. It is a little more complicated than that, but that's the basic idea. We feed the fish create nutrients by digesting the food. That nutrified water passes through a filtration system where we remove the solids, pass the nutrified water through biofiltration, where we convert it from waste into plant food. The plants absorb all of that plant food, and then it returns back to the plant, or back to the fish, as clean water. Well, right now, our big two products are our aquaponic lettuce mix, which is a blend of baby heirloom lettuces and salad greens. And then also our sweet basil that we're growing is really started to catch on in the market.
You can enjoy the fresh greens from Aquavita Farms at a growing number of local restaurants and distributors. Want to learn more? There are tours every month, or you can schedule a personal tour. There are also workshops on starting aquaponics. Visit our website for links and information, mohawkvalleyliving.com. We end up north of Fly Creek at our first destination, Glimmerglass Alpacas.
Alpacas were originally part of an import for zoos and parks back in the 80s, in the early 80s, and they were fairly uncommon. When we became involved in 1996, there were probably a dozen farms in New York State, and there are certainly many, many more than that now. I have always been a knitter. And with the alpacas, after we got them, I learned to spin and I learned to weave. And then I had to really study to understand yarn and what makes good yarn. And it's wonderfully soft, it's lightweight, it's very warm, strong, and it's, you know, with proper care, it's an investment that would last a lifetime. There's no lanolin. So there's no grease in it. It's just natural body oils and a lot of dust because they love to roll in the dust. Keeping a herd is, compared to other livestock, I've found from our own personal experience of having horses, I find the alpacas to be easier to deal with. They don't have a hoof. They have nails that need to be trimmed on a fairly regular basis, but depending on the individual. They certainly have personalities. I kind of relate them to cats. They're a lot like cats, and they can be standoffish, but they can also be very affectionate as well. You know, they're a herd that you need to actually herd them, similar to sheep.
But it's easier than herding cats.
Yeah, it is easier than herding cats, that's true. Although they can have their challenges as well. So Jack helps out with that.
To learn more about the animals and services at Glimmerglass Alpacas, visit glimmerglassalpacas.com or visit our website for links, mohawkvalleyliving.com.
As a reminder, Mohawk Valley Living will not be on for the next 3 weeks because of the Olympics, but we'll be cheering on the American teams and hope that you will too, and that you'll be back with us on August 19th when we return to the air. Between now and then, enjoy Mohawk Valley Living and enjoy the Olympics.